There are no rules in Bloodline Rules, no disqualifications, no referees to pull anyone apart, no boundaries. And on this night, the night Seth Rollins walks straight into Solo Sikoa's world, the entire WWE Universe watched and wondered if the Visionary had finally made the last mistake of his career. Because Solo Sikoa doesn't just fight, Solo Sikoa destroys. And he had an entire army standing behind him. But Seth Rollins walked down that ramp anyway, smiling, because that's exactly who he is. Now before this story explodes, and trust me, it absolutely does, make sure you're locked in with Shock Zone right now. Hit that subscribe button because this channel was built for one thing and one thing only: bringing you WWE stories the way they were meant to be told. Every match, every rivalry, every shocking twist, every championship moment. We cover it all, we break it all down, and we make you feel every single second of it. If you missed this story, if you missed any story, that's what we're here for. Shock Zone is your home. Always. Smash that like button if you're already feeling the intensity of what's coming. And share this video with every WWE fan in your life right now. Because this one is special. Now let's get into it. To understand what Bloodline Rules even means, you gotta understand who the Bloodline is and what they've done to WWE over the past few years. This wasn't just a faction. This was a takeover. Roman Reigns built an empire, a family-run, Samoan pride-fueled, acknowledgement-demanding empire that sat on top of WWE for the longest sustained championship reign in modern history. The Bloodline controlled SmackDown. They controlled the tag titles. They controlled the narrative. And at the center of the new, restructured Bloodline, after the cracks started forming, after Roman's grip began to slip, stood Solo Sikoa, quiet, dangerous, the kind of guy who doesn't need to talk much because everything he needs to say, he says with his hands. Solo is Roman's younger cousin, and when Roman's presence became complicated, Solo stepped into a leadership role that nobody asked him to take. He just took it. That's the kind of man Solo Sikoa is. Now Seth Rollins, where do you even start with Seth Rollins? The man has been every version of himself in WWE: hero, villain, sellout, revolutionary, champion, underdog. He has reinvented himself more times than most wrestlers have title shots. But what has never changed about Seth Rollins is this: he will show up, no matter what, no matter who is waiting for him, no matter how stacked the odds are. Seth Rollins shows up, and he performs at a level that makes you forget all about the odds. The tension between Rollins and the Bloodline wasn't new. Seth had been circling this conflict for a while, and the collision course became unavoidable when WrestleMania weekend started drawing closer. The stakes weren't just personal. They were massive. They were about momentum, about power, about who was going to walk into the biggest weekend of the wrestling year with the wind at their back. Bloodline Rules was Solo's answer to anyone who thought Seth Rollins could survive in his world. His rules, his people, his advantage. The match started, and Seth Rollins came out swinging, because of course he did. That's the thing about Seth. He never waits for the moment to come to him. He goes and gets it. In the early going, Rollins was sharp, fast, picking his spots, hitting Solo with everything that flashy, high-flying, technically brilliant offense could offer. The crowd was electric. Seth was putting on a clinic, and for a few moments, just a few, it almost felt like Solo Sikoa might actually be in trouble. Almost. Solo absorbed it. That's the terrifying thing about this man. He absorbs punishment like it genuinely does not register, and then he resets. And he comes after you harder. Solo started firing back. Samoan spikes, raw power moves, just mauling Rollins in a way that reminded everyone watching that underneath all the athleticism, this is a fight. And in a fight, Solo Sikoa is one of the scariest human beings on this planet. Then came the table spot. Solo drove Seth Rollins through a table with the kind of force that makes the whole building go silent for half a second before the crowd loses its mind. Seth was down. The Bloodline was ringside, circling, waiting. And for a moment, it looked like this was going to be a clean, dominant statement victory for Solo Sikoa and everything the Bloodline represented. But then, the interference began, because Bloodline Rules cuts both ways. No disqualifications means anyone can get involved. And when the Bloodline started swarming, the math changed dramatically when Cody Rhodes showed up. Cody Rhodes, the man carrying his own WrestleMania dreams, his own unfinished business, his own war against everything the Bloodline stands for, came out and started evening the numbers. The building absolutely erupted. Because suddenly this wasn't just a match anymore. This was a preview. This was WrestleMania weekend in miniature. The chaos, the alliances, the collision of massive storylines, all happening at the same time in the same building. The back and forth became genuinely unpredictable. Every time one side looked like they had control, the other side ripped it away. Seth fought through the pain of that table spot. He fought through the interference. He fought because that's all Seth Rollins knows how to do, the click. IMAX of this match was everything Bloodline Rules promised it would be. Chaotic, dramatic, emotionally overwhelming, and absolutely impossible to look away from. What this match did to WWE was significant. It reminded everyone that the Bloodline story, even without Roman Reigns at the center, was still the most compelling, most dangerous narrative in all of professional wrestling. Solo Sikoa proved he was not a placeholder. He was not a stand-in. He was a legitimate, terrifying force who could carry this faction on his own back. And Seth Rollins, even in the chaos, even with the interference, even with the entire world seemingly against him, proved once again that he belongs in any conversation about the greatest performers in WWE history. His willingness to walk into impossible situations and somehow make them work is genuinely unmatched. For Cody Rhodes, this moment added fuel to an already raging fire. WrestleMania weekend was coming, the Bloodline was still standing, and Cody Rhodes was making it absolutely clear that he was not finished with any of them. The fans left this one buzzing, not just because of what happened, but because of what it all meant for what was coming next. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching this story all the way through. That genuinely means everything to us here at Shock Zone. If this story moved you, if the chaos and the drama and the emotion of it all hit you the way it hit us, please hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel more than you know, and share this with your WWE people, your friends, your family, whoever you argue with about Raw and SmackDown every week. Send it to them. They need to see this. And if you are not yet subscribed to Shock Zone, every single WWE story you've ever wanted to understand, every match you missed, every rivalry you couldn't keep up with, every championship journey that deserves to be told right, it's all here. We are not going anywhere. We are always going to be here for you with every big story, every single time. Subscribe right now and never miss another moment. Coming up next on Shock Zone, a story about a man who held the most prestigious title in WWE for so long that people forgot what it felt like when someone finally took it from him, and the night it happened, nobody, absolutely nobody, saw it coming. This is Shock Zone. We don't just cover WWE, we live it.